Brainwash for Dr. Tom and guitar picks with Cyril, the Reverend Gary Davis.
Reverend Gary Davis. I'm glad I'm open tuning. I moved in when I moved to Boston, which was first. I moved to Boston in the mid '80s, and that was my first real music. That was the start of my music career. Really, it was the first place where I started playing with other musicians. And I moved in with a guy who was he was a lot older than me, and he was just really into fingerstyle blues guitar. That's all he listened to. It's all he wanted to do. And he would sit there and play, and I never ever learnt that stuff. But he would listen to a lot of Reverend Gary Davis, and I loved it, and I absorbed it. And then in 1994, we moved down here, and all of a sudden I found out this is the home. Well, it's not the home. I think Gary Davis was from around Greenville, South Carolina. But, he grew up on the streets here of Durham and the whole Hayti thing. And this whole Piedmont blues style, I never even knew what a Piedmont blues style was. So I kind of fell into the belly of Piedmont blues here. And the first thing I did here, went to a Piedmont Blues Festival and it had all these local people like John D. Holman and Aljamain Hinton and just some of the great people that are still legacies to what we got going on here. So I thought it only appropriate that I play. On my album, I do a tribute to him. I do a version of Light of This World, which I think Jorma kind of introduced Gary Davis to the world at large, Jorma Kaukonen, and he did a version of that. But I'm not a real steeped in tradition type of player like this, but Light of This World. So Gary Davis played with two fingers, and that's his distinctive style, and had that kind of thing going. So he just had this kind of rolling style. And I think what we should play is Hallelujah. Okay. Hallelujah. I don't even know how it goes, but anyway, this is some of his gospel stuff, and I love gospel music. I mean, any music that is, I don't know, it goes in with what I've been saying probably the whole interview, songs about healing and redemption, and the whole gospel music thing is about that, and I believe blues is about that too. A lot of people have problems separating blues out from gospel, but I kind of feel it's just going at the same thing a different way. And Reverend Gary Davis bridged that whole thing. He started out playing a lot of blues, and then I think he found his Christ in his own way or whatever. And I can't really speak to that, but other people can. I didn't really study his life, but then he started doing a lot of gospel music. I just love his gospel stuff. I love it all. But anyway, Hallelujah's a great tune. They're all great, and it's his vibe that I think inspires me more than anything else.
Okay, Brainwash for Dr. Tom and guitar picks with Cyril, Greg Brown, Lately.
Folk music to me was the first music I listened to that directly talked about the times. I listened to Bob Dylan. And in fact, the funny story going back, my mom bought me that little pawn shop guitar. I think I was 8, 9 years old. She bought it for my whole family. All my brothers and sisters, not just me. And there was a Mel Bay, the tune-a-day guitar start, Oh, MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And then, for some reason, here I was 8, 9 years old, she bought me the Bob Dylan songbook, and it was, Take me on a trip upon your magic swirling ship. Our senses have been stripped. And I was like, whoa, what is this stuff about? Or, come gather round people wherever you roam. And admit that the waters around you have grown. And accept that if you'll soon be drenched to the bone. I'm a big fan of a man named Greg Brown. And I call him folk music because he usually plays with one guitar. He performs with an acoustic guitar, but his music spans all sorts of stuff. But he's like one of the great, to me, modern songwriters, and by modern I mean our times, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and he speaks to my time. He speaks about experiences that I can relate to. So I guess I throw this in there because the inspiration of songwriting and lyrics and talking about experiences from our own life and relating them to everybody else's experience. And Greg Brown's got so many amazing songs. I kind of consider him the Bob Dylan of my time, and it was hard to choose, but this is just a beautiful song. It's not political, it's just personal, and it means a lot to me. So that's it. That's what it sounds like out of tune. And if you put on the real track, you can hear what it sounds like in tune. Lately by Greg Brown.
It's Brainwashed with Dr. Tom and guitar picks with Cyril Lance. Bob Marley Redemption Song.
Yeah, I wish I had an acoustic guitar for you. Bob Marley is one of my favorite all-time musicians. Bob Marley, reggae, kind of the father of reggae in a way, at least as far as this country is concerned. He kind of introduced the whole world to reggae and to the whole Rastafarian concept and really awakening the world to the struggles of the African American people in Jamaica and the Caribbean. His music was so soulful and so dedicated to righteousness and love and to spiritual development and to the healing of this world, and that stuff's really important to me. And he wrote just beautiful music, I remember when we used to sit in the government's yard in Trench Town, observing the hypocrites mingle with the good people we meet, all that stuff. And I don't want to wait in vain for your love, all that great stuff. One love, one heart, let's get together and feel alright. Talking about it. One love, one heart, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and you will feel alright. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and you will feel alright. And one of my favorite songs of it, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. Singing don't worry about a thing. Anyway, songs of hope, songs of love, songs of healing through music and spiritual stuff. And Redemption Song is to me the definitive, that to me is his banner song, just for me personally. And he plays it on the acoustic guitar, and it's just raw. Oh, pirates, yes, they rob I, sold I from the merchant ships, minutes after they took I from the bottomless pits. It's a song for everybody, even though it's about his struggle and his people's struggle, but we all need redemption and we all need to be saved from ourselves.